Hello, welcome back. Another lesson with the wonderful A Course in Miracles. And today's lesson is 138. My name's Janet Melody. I'm going to read through today's lesson. And as always, when I go through these lessons, I post a link under this video so you can read the content in your own time. Right, so today's lesson, another deep dive. These last few lessons have been really quite intense. It's like it's really getting into the meat and bones of the course now. And so we're going into another strong, forceful lesson, as always, to get us towards our truth. So let me get reading. So our statement of the day, as always, is heaven is the decision I must make. When I read this one, this just reminded me of that Belinda Carlisle song. Ooh, baby, do you know that's why? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. We'll make heaven a place on earth. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. And it is. Heaven is a place on earth because it's all coming from our mind and how we project it to the world. So let us project love into the world. That's what we're looking for. So heaven is the decision I must make today. In this world, heaven is a choice because here we believe there are alternatives to choose between. We think that all things have an opposite and what we want we choose. If heaven exists, there must be a hell as well, for contradiction is the way we make what we perceive and what we think is real. Creation knows no opposite, but here is opposition part of being real. It is this strange perception of the truth that makes the choice of heaven seem to be the same as the relinquishment of hell. It is not really thus. Yet what is true in God's creation cannot enter here until it is reflected in some form the world can understand. Truth cannot come where it could only be perceived with fear. For this would be the error truth can be brought to illusions. Oppositions make the truth unwelcome and it cannot come. Wow, that's quite a strong sentence to really absorb. Truth cannot come where it could only be perceived with fear. So when we are in fear and we think that heaven is an opposite, it can't fully evolve. This opposition makes the truth unwelcome and it cannot come. Choice is the obvious escape from what appears as opposites. Decision lets one of conflicting goals become the aim of effort and expenditure of time. That is true when we do make decisions in our lives. That's when things shift, right? When you decide, I've had enough, I'm going this way and that's it, you do it, right? And you don't turn back. And that's when your life then takes a new direction. So yeah, decisions. Without decision, time is but a waste and effort dissipated. It is spent for nothing in return and time goes by without results. There is no sense of gain, for nothing is accomplished, nothing learned. You need to be reminded that you think 1,000 choices are confronting you, when there is only really one to make. And even this but seems to be a choice. Do not confuse yourself with all the doubts that myriad decisions would induce. You make but one. And when that one is made, you will perceive it with no choice at all. For truth is true and nothing else is true. There is no opposite to choose. Instead, there is no contradiction to the truth. Now that is true as well when you're making a decision. If you have more choices, more than one choice, then you're stuck, aren't you? You're stuck in this limbo state like, oh, what about that? What about, and you've got to make this maybe a list of pros and cons and you go through it all until you get to that place where you think, yes, I'm going to go for A or B, you know, that's the one, that's the decision. Whereas this is saying truth is it. There is no other choice that we think there is. We've made a lot of other things appear to be there. There is no other choice. Truth is it. When we decide, I'm stepping into truth, it's a strong, strong decision for change. Choosing depends on learning, and the truth cannot be learned but only recognized. The truth cannot be learned but only recognized. Yeah, as it slowly starts to appear into our lives. In recognition, its acceptance lies, and as it is accepted, it is known. But knowledge is beyond the goal we seek to teach within the framework of this course. Our teaching goals to be attained through learning how to reach them. Ours are teaching goals to be attained through learning how to reach them, what they are and what they offer. Decisions are the outcome of your learning, for they rest on what you have accepted as the truth of what you are and what your needs must be. Yes, because as I said, we're all different in the way we view the world. So this is a framework for helping us eventually with the frame to, it's like it's sort of closing us in. So our focus becomes, I see it now. I see the truth. All of these things have started to dissipate, and now I see only the one choice, which is real. There it is. It stands in all its glory and light. It's within me. So in this insanely complicated world, heaven appears to take the form of choice rather than merely being what it is. Of all the choices you have tried to make, this is the simplest, most definite and prototype of all the rest, the one which settles all decisions. What a relief, the one that settles all decisions. If you could decide the rest, this one remains unresolved. But when you solve this one, the others are resolved with it. For all decisions but conceal this one by taking different forms. Here is the final and the only choice in which is truth accepted or denied. So as we navigate this world through this wonderful course, we are being shown what is true, what is not true, what is true, what is not true, what is true all the time. And it's sort of like easing us towards what is actually real in this world. And so much is illusions, it's saying. So much, that you thought. Forgiveness, all of these things that we thought was a different, how to forgive. We didn't see the real meaning behind forgiveness. We thought we were the ones that were higher than the other person, when forgiveness is actually forgiving ourselves because we've gone off the path. That's just one example this course has given us. It's like it's slowly manoeuvring us towards the truth. So we begin today considering the choice that time was made to help us make. Such is its holy purpose, now transformed from the intent you gave it, that it be a means for demonstrating hell is real. Hope changes to despair, and life itself must in the end be overcome by death. In death alone are opposites resolved, for ending opposition is to die. And thus salvation must be seen as death, for life is seen as conflict. To resolve the conflict is to end your life as well. And I do sometimes think that, we die, we actually connect to source finally, because in the living world, we do seem to be just in this whirlwind. So it's like in order to reach the truth, it's like that. It's a death of the illusion. It's a death of what we have perceived as real, all for this length of time. So these mad beliefs can gain unconscious hold of great intensity and grip the mind with terror and anxiety so strong that it will not relinquish its ideas about its own protection. It must be saved from salvation, threatened to be safe, and magically moored against truth. Against truth. And these decisions are made unaware to keep them safely undisturbed, apart from question and from reason and from doubt. Yep, because this world is so real, how could we doubt it? We are seen as insane for doubting it. Heaven is chosen consciously. The choice cannot be made until alternatives are accurately seen and understood. All that is veiled in shadows must be raised to understanding, to be judged again, this time with heaven's help. And all mistakes in judgment that the mind had made before are open to correction, as the truth dismisses them as causeless. Now are they without effects. They cannot be concealed because their nothingness is recognized. Yet, when you suddenly see that the things that you've been giving all this value mean nothing, they're going to just fall to the wayside. The conscious choice of heaven is as sure as is the ending of the fear of hell when it is raised from its protective shield of unawareness and is brought to light. Yes, because when we become aware, we can't unsee it. So once we have the awareness, that's it. The job of truth is done. Yet who can fail to make a choice between alternatives when only one is seen as valuable, the other as a wholly worthless thing, a but imagined source of guilt and pain? Who hesitates to make a choice like this? And shall we hesitate to choose today? Is that a question? We make the choice for heaven as we wake and spend 5 minutes making sure that we have made the one decision that is sane. We recognize we make a conscious choice between what has existed and what has nothing but an appearance of the truth. It is pseudo being. Brought to what is real, it's flimsy and transparent in the light. It holds no terror now, for what was made enormous, vengeful, pitiless, with hate, demands obscurity for fear to be invested there. Now it is recognized as but a foolish, trivial mistake. So 5 minutes in the morning we're giving it to choose heaven. That's what we're doing, and realizing that all the other choices are but illusions. So we make that choice for 5 minutes. This is the decision I'm making. I'm choosing heaven. And then before we close our eyes in sleep tonight, we affirm the choice that we have made each hour in between. So on the hour again, in between, we keep saying, I choose heaven. My decision is to choose heaven. And now we give the last 5 minutes of our waking day to the decision with which we awoke. As every hour passes, we have declared our choice again in a brief, quiet time devoted to maintaining sanity. And finally, we close the day with this, acknowledging we chose but what we want. So the final saying of the day today will be, heaven is the decision I must make. I make it now, and I will not change my mind because it is the only thing I want. So that's it, choosing heaven today, choosing it on the hour, every hour throughout today, so that it is really constantly reinforced, and doing that by just going into that silence where in the stillness the truth resides. That is when you will feel the truth arise within you. So give that a minute on the hour, every hour today, if you can, or within the hour, whatever it is. But in that each hour, give yourself a minute of just time to just breathe. My decision today is heaven. And that's it. That's your practice. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening to seal off what you've chosen today. And that's it. What a beautiful day. Okay, so enjoy, and we will be back again soon. Take care, everyone. See you.